Yep. Much to the chagrin of a lot of people in power, the conversation around Jeffrey Epstein doesn't seem to be fizzling out any, which is great. Hopefully, it will keep this, will never peter out, because it is of the utmost importance that this gets corrected, that they stop trying to perpetuate these lies that they're attempting to shove down the American public's throat about Jeffrey Epstein not having a list, not indulging in blackmail, and then trying to drop what has now been revealed as modified footage of Jeffrey Epstein's cell area to prove that he took his own life and no one came in there. There was no fishy business. The Baba Yaga didn't pay him a visit or anything. And they try and proclaim that that footage was the raw, real deal, organic, sourced footage here. But what we're talking about today, it turns out that was once again another fucking lie.
We was literally just talking about this right before we was recording, bro. This dude was a big time Hollywood executive. With that amount of money, bro, why would you not have the ability to just make yourself disappear and just bribe people off?
Right.
You know what I mean? This whole thing just never added up to me. You had kids on the island and shit, and then you finally get caught up for it, and then all of a sudden you killing yourself, but somehow you still so listen. With someone like that prolific, is bound to be a big deal over time with JFK. But dude, come on, yo. Everybody knew, bro. Who didn't know that there was some lying going on?
See, my whole thing is, man. First they were saying they're gonna release the list, and they didn't release the list, and they say we're gonna release it this time. Then they didn't release the list, and Trump said he's gonna release it. They didn't release the list. Something about that list, man, is def that has some sort of weird correlation. You know what I mean? Why isn't the list being released?
I low key think I low key think Donnie was on that list though. Low key,
it was pictures of him with Epstein, right? That was on the island, but
he would be in movies and stuff. Person probably call him, hey, buddy, I got this funny cameo. I think it'd be good for you. In that Home Alone movie, you know what I mean? I think Jeffrey Epstein produced that movie, if I'm not mistaken. But, bro, this whole thing just been fishy just from the start. Everybody knew that there was some lying shit going on. Let's be honest.
I feel like with all these big Hollywood producers, it's always they always be on some weird shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First, you had the thing with Dan Schneider at Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah.
The allegations come out against him.
And
then you got to think, man, they around these kids 24/7. Need to say it, but somebody in that crowd was a creep.
I'm saying,
you know what I mean? Watching them doing certain scenes, half naked and whatever. Somebody is just has that predator mentality, and it wouldn't surprise me at all that he was doing some foul things with other celebrities or other big
I just don't understand the big reaction, bro. Like anybody with half a brain can put two and two together. None of that shit made sense. None of it. Like I don't know.
Zilla just made a video talking about it. Also, I'm going to play a few clips from that because he is significantly more intelligent than I am. And buckle your seatbelt because it is a wild ride.
The raw Epstein footage was modified according to its metadata, despite Dan Bongino previously
reacting. Wow.
We're reacting to a reactor.
We could have just pulled up his video. Fuck. Shout out to Voice Critical, man. We mess with you.
The reason I pulled this up is because he covers the whole thing and it's all condensed and short.
That's true.
So he'll give us the angles in different videos.
Saying that they would release the original footage so you wouldn't think there were shenanigans.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
What do you mean you're going to clean it up and enhance it? Just show the fucking footage.
I'm saying, what do you need to enhance? What's there to be enhanced? This is not a movie.
And what's there to clean up?
I'm telling you, bro, he had ties with people and powerful people in the government, in politicians. He had people in his pocket, bro.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that's not what we got.
To briefly explain for those that don't know, when the DOJ and FBI said that Epstein did not have a list, did not indulge in blackmail, did in fact commit suicide, they then dropped some footage that was supposed to corroborate that there really was no one else that entered his area, killed him. Dropped a lot of footage. Supposed to be the raw feed of it. Turns out that doesn't seem to be the case. It was very likely modified, and you're about to see the metadata that indicates that it most likely was, as well as a forensic expert that weighs in that also thinks that it was not done properly.
Basically, they pulled metadata and showed that the footage appears to be a...
So let's read just a little bit of this. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Department of Justice released 11 hours of what is described as raw surveillance footage of a camera positioned by his prison cell the night before he was found dead. The files appears to have been assembled at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, then uploaded to DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage. Wow, bro.
So it just seemed like they tampered with the footage.
Well, hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. You just right here, it just said a camera.
Mm-hmm.
A camera.
What's position?
Where's the 2 sources coming from? I thought it was just one camera. Nah, that's some bullshit right there. That's bullshit. Let's see what else it says before we move on. Though. Experts caution that it's unclear what was exactly changed and that the metadata does not prove deceptive manipulation. Wow. They could cover up anything that they want to.
That's what I'm saying, especially nowadays, bro. All this technology, they could vest the footage anytime.
I'm saying, and you really trust FBI after what we've learned over the past couple of years about the FBI?
If you've been watching our videos, can you trust the FBI?
Can you really trust the FBI,
if
bro?
You've been tuning in with the Renaissance Mob for real.
Manipulation with the with elections, people's taxes, everything, bro.
Go back and watch our old videos, and you'll see what we got.
Yeah, look up the one where it says CIA operative proves why our votes don't matter. Look at our video.
At least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage, which technically it is not. Now, I pulled the EXIF data myself. This is what it looks like. You can see that there's these ingredients file.
How do you pull up the data?
Where you can see 4 different files. 2 of them are just identical. So 2 unique files here that have been basically stitched together is the most charitable interpretation.
So they went into Adobe Premiere and edited. I cannot believe that they would even the metadata would think that the letter organization would be better at hiding their dirty work. Now, maybe if they were using the superior editing program, Sony Vegas, they would have been able to get away with it more effectively. Vegas probably doesn't even. But they went into Adobe Premiere, spliced this together, and then sent it as raw when it is not raw. It is edited. That is legitimately, by all possible definitions, a lie. Even though Bongino said, no, you're going to get the raw, so there's no shenanigans. But all we get is shenanigans.
I'm gonna. If that's not the stupidest thing that I've heard, it's the same thing with Hillary Clinton with those emails back in 2016. You think people aren't gonna find out about that? You think people don't have the capability of hacking or going into that shit and seeing for itself where the original source came from? You can only get away with that shit for a certain amount of time, bro. And for them to go on Adobe, which is easily hackable, easily, right? You save that shit multiple times.
Adobe, that sounds so outdated.
And why are you using why? I would think that the government would be using some type of software where the general public wouldn't be able to have access to. Right. That's my personal opinion. Maybe I don't know. Maybe our power grid is out of date now. I don't know. That was just so stupid. That's so stupid.
Maybe you didn't do anything with it, but it ruins the whole chain of evidence. Wired actually quotes a professor of UC Berkeley whose research focuses on digital forensics. He has testified in numerous court cases, and he says, if a lawyer brought me this file and asked if it was suitable for court, I'd say no, go back to the source, do it right.
Wow.
From the original system, no monkey business. Business.
Wow. Farad says the metadata raises immediate concerns about chains of custody. So it was swapped through multiple hands to manipulate the footage. Is what that's basically saying.
That's like a lot of monkey business. There's definitely some fishy shit going on behind this. I don't think it was a suicide, especially not at this point.
He's still alive, bro. He's still alive.
You think he pulled a Machiavelli?
Let me tell you something. He's somewhere in the Dominican Republic or Havana, Cuba. You know what I'm saying?
Faked his death.
He's faked his death. Got a whole new name. His name is like Williams or some shit.
Right.
You know, he learned Spanish so that he could blend in with the crowd, so he could come off as a right. Got a
spray color
right
skin,
now. All of a sudden, you're from Spain, right? and people don't know who the fuck you are.
Name's at the water right now,
bro. I'm telling you, like, it's too easy when it comes to people like that who has that certain amount of money, bro. It's too easy.
Do a direct export from the original system, no monkey business.
It's actually scary just how.
I don't know why.
Of course he faked this
like
death.
the most obvious thing about faking.
I'm saying, like, bro, if you have enough money to buy an island, what makes you think he can't be able to like make himself disappear?
Right.
Like,
No, I ain't thinking it.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like, bro. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm pretty sure if you want to and listen, he was known for blackmail, right? He probably got a pilot paid him about like to take him anywhere he wanted in the world, right? He got rid of all his electronics because he probably put he probably put most of his money in like islands in like Italy. You know what I mean? Like he, you know, when you get a certain amount of money, they put their money offshore so that it don't get taxed.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's too easy. It's too easy when it comes to shit like this. It is.
Corruption is. For years, they have talked about the Epstein list and the blackmail.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody knows exists. Endless amounts of evidence to suggest its legitimacy. Yet now, all of a sudden, they're like, nah, it's not. No, that's just fictitious. That's a fucking Santa Claus's list right there. That's not real. No, not be a nice list. No, Jeffrey Epstein's list. Jeffrey Epstein's not even a real person. That's just a made up. They haven't gone that far with that claim, but like I said last time, I feel like we're not far off from them just trying to deny Jeffrey Epstein ever even existed. Trying to scrub him from the history books here.
I mean, they already think
Effectively, just not even trying to make this believable. They are so confident that they will not be held accountable that they don't even bother to do even the slightest amount of elbow grease to convince anyone to believe them. And they're right, like nothing's happening to them. They are covering up for one of the biggest pedophiles in history that implicates some of the most powerful people across the globe. And they are sweeping it under the rug. There have been no arrests made, and it doesn't seem like they're pursuing it at all. Caroline even just recently said that they're not like releasing in regards to it because of like how graphic and gross all of it is.
Another thing too that people got to realize too, if they probably incriminate the people who is involved in this, they probably incriminating themselves. You said it yourself. There's a lot of creeps out there in all fields, not Hollywood, government, in our daily lives, bro.
Yeah.
We probably know some people at work who probably get into some real creepy shit outside of work, but we don't know it because you don't know what people's true intentions are. I mean, it's sort of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't in this situation too. Because it's like at the end of the day, all the complaining that people are doing, I mean, like, yeah, we're showing that we can recognize that, yeah, y'all straight up just lied to our face. It's not like we can incriminate y'all. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what can we really do other than just highlight the evidence, you know? So it's kind of fucked.
False narrative about him committed suicide. I'm just claiming that it's false at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just to appeal to the people like, hey, no, go on. It's never happened. We're just going to drop it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because whether it gets released or not, it doesn't matter to them.
Right.
You know, they'll be fine regardless, but it's just to appeal to us so we won't turn against them and take away their power.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end, the reason why most of these people are successful is because of us, people like me and you.
Yeah.
That back them and support their whatever they put out.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would have exposed a lot of people, and that's going to lead them powerless. So they'll do everything in their power, of course, to cover up this whole thing. Like you said, at some point, they're just going to say, hey, this nigga, he never existed.
Right.
Like they're going to completely try to wipe it away from our memory that this dude was ever a creep or that anyone that we might that we know or that we look up to or admire or idolize or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't idolize anybody.
Right.
You know, might be on that list as well. So.
Yeah, like I can guarantee you right now, this is not the first case about someone prolific like doing some shit like this. It's just not. It's not. And at the end of the day, nothing gets done about it. We just watch documentaries and be like, damn, that's crazy.
We tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to tell the count.
This is anyone ever, and they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release. Frankly, it was incredibly graphic. It contained child pornography, which is not something for public consumption.
It still needs to be released.
They committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the. That's transparent.
Oh, they provided the results of that? How many people went to jail, Caroline? Right. I must have missed that update. Were there a lot of bad guys that got locked up here? Oh man, that's huge. I feel like more people should know that. Can you share who all got arrested from all of the Epstein investigations?
Right.
This vile worm tries to say that nothing's going to get released, and I guess nothing's going to happen to anyone that was incriminated here because a lot of it was not fit for public consumption.
That doesn't make
Fucking
sense.
weirdo. No one's asking you to like share the videos or anything like that. But you are saying that you have this evidence and you're doing nothing with it. And we know there is a list of clients and a lot of people that engaged with it. Fucking arrest them.
Right.
What the public deserves is that you will follow through with your duty of arresting these evil people that you have unbelievable amounts of evidence on, which is not happening. This is the furthest thing from transparency. Unless she's trying to argue that this cover-up is so blatant, obvious, and terrible that everyone can see through it, so you can immediately know how guilty some of the most powerful people are, then I guess that makes sense, because this is such a poorly done attempt.
But that's not good enough because no legal action is being taken.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm fully convinced that he had people in the government back in his pocket. I'm fully convinced, bro. Like 100%. Hollywood, everybody wants to be in Hollywood.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was if he attended Bohemian Grove at one point. You know about that?
Yeah, I do.
Heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's giving that type of vibe. Like he probably connected with those type of people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and they had some real creepy shit. Too.
Yeah, man, a lot of weird shit going on.
I mean, he was probably like, ugh, I don't even want to say it.
Yeah.
Burying that everyone can see through it. Is that the point she was trying to make? Perhaps, I guess. Every step of the way here, they are lying and trying to cover up everything related to Jeffrey Epstein, including this footage that was supposed to be raw footage.
The video aspect ratio suddenly shifts as the tape changes over or whatever they claim. You can see that right here. There's a shift in the video. I have not changed this video in any way. I have it in the Premiere Pro timeline, which I guess they had.
Another thing too. Wait, hold on a second. Another thing too. Let me rewind this for a second.
I have it in the Premiere Pro timeline.
What's that right there? That wasn't there before. Is that a person right there? What was that? See that? Look, 11:58. There was nothing there, right? And then right there.
Wait.
You see that?
Right. Yeah, I see that.
Like, who the fuck is that? Right there. Right?
Wait, there's somebody right there, right?
I don't think so. Because then right here,
like
but then right here, look.
They laying down. No, I think that was just somebody sitting up and like.
Nah, that's fishy to me.
Because you see the same arm and head. Go back. Arm, head, body. 2 minutes, they laying down.
Even then, that's still fishy. Because you mean to tell me you didn't hear nothing? Like, you right down there, bro. That's still fishy to me. Nah. That's this is crazy.
Had like the aspect, it did change.
I mean, it shows signs of manipulation. It doesn't just do that.
Right.
You know, I didn't point that out to y'all in the video. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna use the mouse right here. Y'all see this guy right here, right? This guy right here, and then look at 11:58 right there. Am I tweaking or is he not there anymore? Bro, y'all see that? Look, right, y'all see that right there, right here, right? Y'all see my mouse right here, and then right there, even then, like what? What is that right there? Because that wasn't there before too, and now it disappeared after the frame. What is that? So that right there, right? You see, am I?
This is his leg.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe I'm tweaking.
Anyway, I have it Premiere Pro timeline, which I guess they had as well. So this is as intended. So there's this just weird shifts in the footage. I mean, this was actually a very sloppy way after they explicitly talked about needing to do it in the right way so the American public could rely on it.
As CoffeeZilla says, it could be all just incompetence, like actually fucking troglodytes here in charge of all of this. So even though they called attention to needing to do it the right way, they're just so fucking brain dead, like actual lobotomites, and just couldn't even do it the right way, so then they just farted this out.
Horseshit.
Like, it could be, like, no here, like, this is just how it's done, like, for some reason it jumps a minute, like, as switching over, and they had to put it into editing software and fuck up the aspect ratio. I guess it could be incompetence, but I would not be that charitable with this. They are doing so much lying. Again, we already know about the list existing, and we know about the blackmail. That is all real stuff. and now they're denying. And now they're doing this modifying of footage while trying to fight back against the conspiracy that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. It's just insanity. They are so confident that the public will do nothing about it. They'll get upset, but they'll just follow it and be done with it and move on. And some people are, but I'm happy that most, they are desperately doing everything in their power to try and bury this whole conversation about Jeffrey Epstein. Like a couple days ago where Trump interrupted a question about it in order to try and shift to something else. Like, are you talking about Jeffrey Epstein, that creep? How can you be talking about him when there's floods going on in Texas? It's such a bad look.
Why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse key on the inside?
Yeah, sure. If I
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things, and are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy.
You really trying to
what happened and
you really trying to avoid that?
Yeah, that was almost like a form of deflection of what he was doing. Like,
don't talk about that type of shit.
Yeah. You could tell like he was like visibly though. Like you could see
just
it.
uncomfortable with
yeah,
the
you
part.
could upset see it. Yeah. And that's a little suspicious.
Very suspicious.
That's a little suspicious.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
People are still talking about Epstein. It's one of the biggest, most in-your-face cover-ups most people have ever seen. This is one of the biggest pedophiles in history that implicates so many extremely powerful people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still talking about it, understandably, because the people deserve answers, and there needs to be justice for all of the people that engaged in this. This desperation from those in power to move on from the Jeffrey Epstein conversation is extremely scary. And they are doing it with reckless abandon, feeling completely immune to consequences for all of this. And so far they're right. Like, there's anything that's coming from it. There's still no arrest being made. There's still no new information coming out. The only information we get is more information about how they are lying, like modifying the footage. It's craziness.
I mean, best. He said it better than I could have. Like this shit. I mean, crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That they come
Yeah.
out releasing, and like he's Trump trying to brush it under the rug was pretty telling. Man.
Yeah. All types of politicians who was like into with Epstein, like Clinton, Obama. You know what I mean? There was all types of people who was involved with that guy, man, and like yeah.
Right. Of course, they're not going to release anything.
Of course, because like a lot of these people, just because they don't hold office anymore doesn't mean that they don't hold power.
Right.
They still.
In fact, they gain more power.
I'm saying I guarantee you 100%. Biden and Obama has about not just as much power, but they still have power in the government. Trust and believe that. The influence that you leave on people, especially these, woke-minded people, you literally can't tell them shit. You can't tell them shit at all. If you say one bad thing about Obama or anybody like that, they be like, "How fucking dare you?" Like I can't tell you shit. Well, let us know y'all thoughts about this whole case. Do y'all think justice will prevail? It's hard to.
Is there a list? Is Epstein alive?
Here's my thing though. Like, if there was footage, why would you not delete it? It would be fishy if they said there was no footage whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You could have made a better effort or some shit.
All right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. Yeah. Don't be a creep, y'all.
Don't be a creep.
Bye.
Peace.